Hello and welcome back everyone to RKP online classes. I am Jyoti and I hope you all are doing well. So in today's video we will be talking about the correctness of our title of our unit 6, that is My Childhood, and we will be discussing the theme and the message that we get from this chapter. So first of all, let's start with the title. As we all know, our title of our chapter is My Childhood. That means it clearly states, it gives us an idea that in this chapter we will get to know about the childhood of our writer. And our writer or author of our chapter is APJ Abdul Kalam. So in this chapter, what do we get to know? We get to know about the childhood influences. We get to know about the people whom in childhood APJ Abdul Kalam met or who were part of his childhood. For if we start naming them, first we have his father, then we have his mother, then we have his 3 friends. After that we have father of one of his friends, Mr. Shastri or Mr. Lakshman Shastri. He is the priest, high priest of the temple in Rameshwaram. Next we have his teacher. We get to know about the 2 teachers. One of the teacher was who believed in differences. And the another was who tried to resolve these differences, who tried his best that these differences should get vanished. Then we have, he was Mr. Iyer and his wife as well, Mrs. Iyer. Then we also get to know about one of his cousins. Why is this cousin important? Because through his cousin, it was possible for Mr. Kalam to earn his first wage. How did he earn his first wage? He earned his first wage by helping his cousin catch the bundles of newspapers while the service in Rameshwaram of the train was halted. Means the train didn't stop at the station in Rameshwaram during World War. I hope it is clear. Now let's see what did he get to learn from these. From his father and mother, he get to know about generosity. Generosity means helping others without accepting something back from those persons. Here we get to know about honesty. We learned how kindness helps people, how it helps us to transform our own selves for good. Then with his 3 friends, we get to know that there were no barriers between these 3 friends. Fourth was Abdul Kalam, even though their religions were different, even though their castes were different. They knew no caste or religious differences. Then we have Mr. Shastri. How is his friend's father important? First, he was friend of his father as well, means they too didn't believe in religious differences. He was the priest of the temple, high priest, and he was a Muslim. Still, he didn't believe in religious differences, and he was the person to tell the teacher who believed in religious differences, he was the one to tell him to apologize or quit that place forever. Next comes our second teacher, that is Mr. Iyer. He was a science teacher and he tried his best that no difference prevailed in the society and among the students that were studying in that school. And next is Mrs. Iyer. How is Mrs. Iyer important? We can see transformation in Mrs. Iyer as well. When she saw that her husband is not objecting to her behavior, he is not objecting that why are you behaving like this? He is just doing his own task. He is not interfering between Mrs. Iyer and Abdul Kalam when he came at his home. So she get to learn that there should not be any difference, as humans we all are equal as humans. So she transforms and she herself serves Kalam in the end. Here, and it was from Mr. Iyer that Kalam wanted, after his education from Mr. Iyer, he wanted to go to a big city for his studies. I hope it is clear. Now let's talk about theme. First question arises, what is theme? We always hear the word theme and message. Message everyone can tell. What is the lesson that we get to learn from the chapter? So what do you mean by theme over here? Theme is the subject of talk or the topic of talk or art on which topic it is dealt with. And what do we get to learn? What is the theme that is prevalent in this chapter? Through all the people, all the members of his family, his friends or his teacher, Kalam is trying to tell us that a childhood is shaped by our environment. Everyone must have heard of a story of two parrots. One parrot was sent to home of a well-educated people, and the second second parrot was sent to home of one drunkard who was always under the impression of drugs. And what did the parrot who was sent to educated people's house learn? He learned good things. How to talk, how to greet people, how to reply to certain things. And what did the other parrot who was sent to the house of a drunkard learn? He learned how to abuse, how to speak rudely. So we can say that with the example of these two parrots, one can clearly tell that how we are, it depends upon our environment, especially in the times of, in our early childhood or our early teenage time, means at the time when our mind is fresh. There is nothing filled in our mind, because it is very easy to write something on one plain page, but it becomes really very difficult if there is something already written on that page. Overwriting will make things confusing. Clear? So here, when one child is in his childhood, his mind is fresh, he doesn't know anything about the world or the society, and if at that time we are feeding him with negative thoughts, with negative ideas, then that person cannot make his life peacefully if with those negative thoughts, and it will become really very difficult for that person to erase those negative thoughts and get something positive in himself, because that is all, his mind is already filled with those negative thoughts. So it is really very important during our childhood with whom we sit, with whom we talk, how we talk, what do we learn from that person. And we can easily see Mr. Shastri in the chapter scolded the teacher for his rude behavior, for his way of talking to the students, because he very well knew that if it goes this way, children will also learn those negative thoughts from that teacher, and that will act as a poison for all the children in the society. Clear? And it was only in the childhood, through example. He was not taught by his parents that you should be generous, you should be kind, you should be honest. Rather, Kalam saw his father and mother do the same. He saw that his father was generous to people. He saw that his father was honest. He saw that his mother was kind. She was complete partner to her husband. She supported her husband in each and every work, because they were all for the good of mankind. He saw in his childhood that there are no religious differences among us. It is just the negative thought that is put in our head by some people during our childhood. And it was only therefore that they had a good friendship. The three friends and Kalam, they shared good friendship. And these are all the messages that we get, that we should struggle, we should not step back. Like how struggle we can say, like the Mr. Shastri's son, Kalam's friend and Kalam both told at their home what happened that day in the school. So one thing that we get is we must not hide anything from our parents. You should tell everything to them honestly. And it was only after they told that their parents came to know what is happening in the school and they spoke against it. They called the teacher and they demanded answer from the teacher. Clear? Second thing is we should be generous, because being generous makes us compassionate. If you are asking something in return for your help, that is not help. That is a sort of deal when you give or take something. Giving and taking is a sort of business. So you are not helping that person, rather you are doing a deal. If you really want to help someone, you should not demand anything in return, or you should not even think in your mind about this thing that he will help you in future, because that will become a business then. It will, we can say that you are helping just to secure yourself for the future. That in case you are needing help, someone will be there for you to stand by you. Clear? You should not have that thing. And second thing is honesty. We should be honest, because if you are not honest, you are lying to someone. Then if that person keeps on pondering on that one lie, he keeps on asking you questions based on that one lie, you will have to make several other lies, and it will multiply many folds, and it will ultimately land you in trouble. So that is the other thing. And in this chapter, you can also see the struggle of individual with society. First thing was struggle of Kalam and his friend when they told to their parents that so-so teacher has come in our school and he is telling us that you are different based on your religion. You are not equal. Second is the struggle we can see of Mr. Iyer, how he made each and every effort so that he can erase all these social barriers, not only in his school but also in the society and also at his place. And he was successful, as we can see through the example of Mrs. Iyer. So I hope this chapter is clear to everyone, and you will take care whom you are talking with, what you are accepting, what you are not accepting. There should be one particular reason behind everything that you are accepting. If you don't find any logical answer, and if you don't find that it will benefit you or it will benefit people on large, you should not accept that thing. You should at least demand some reason in return of that idea or thought that is given to you. So you should be you should have a spirit of questioning. That is important. Because if you will question only, then you will get to know the reason behind certain things. So that was all for our chapter. And the only thing that I will suggest is that having completed this chapter, I will suggest you to take a reading of this chapter and then try attempting your question answers. And I am sure you will not face any problem or any confusion or any doubt in any of your questions if you are taking a thorough reading of your chapter. So that was all. We are done with our Unit 6 chapter, My Childhood. So now it's your task. Now the ball is in your court. You have to solve the question answers. Take care, students. See you in the next class.